Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan had advantage over Jesus. A statement issued by or made by this is a legendary figure that fought and conquered the whole world. And reading the history of this guy is that he had no mercy over anyone. He had no mercy over anyone. To him, you stand before him, he destroys you completely. He makes sure he destroys you completely. Okay, the right word to use is he will annihilate you completely. That there'll be no history about you. That nothing about you will ever be found. Okay, this statement is coming in at the time that Iran is in war. Okay, Israel, the US are fighting against the Islamic regime of Iran. And to Netanyahu, these are the guys, the Islamic regime of Iran are the guys that are not supposed to be shown any mercy. Not any mercy. They don't deserve any mercy, because to Netanyahu, what these guys have been able to do is much worse than what a human being will do to another human being. And now, this is where we're getting the context of the whole story. Ali Khamenei, with the Islamic regime of Iran, have not shown anyone mercy anywhere. They've made sure that they're destroying, unaliving, killing, and doing whatever they can do to, I don't know, is it to teach people a lesson or to scare other people that if they Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan or Genghis Khan had advantage over Jesus. A statement issued by or made by the Israeli Prime Minister, that is Benjamin Netanyahu. And this statement has made a lot of people go mad on social media. And there are a lot of discussions on what he really meant over that statement. I heard the statement, I was like, oh, but I had to take some time to think through that statement. And this is what I've come to conclude over that statement. We all know that Jesus is the most powerful figure that ever walked on planet Earth. There's no any other person you can compare Jesus to. But you know, if I make that conclusion, I'm making that conclusion as a Christian who believes in Jesus, because the Bible tells me that he's the most powerful person who ever lived on planet Earth. He did great things that no any other human being has ever done. He's the only person who raised the dead. Yeah, you remember the story of Lazarus? Yeah, I know you do. He's the only person who was able to free people who are demon possessed. You remember the story of that guy in the tombs? Yeah, you know. And he's the only guy who ever healed, crazy diseases like the issue of the woman with the issue of blood for 12 years. Jesus healed that guy. And any other stories that are not recorded, because John says again, if everything that Jesus said and did was recorded, then we'll be having no papers to record all those things. So that is the idea. So for Christians, they know Jesus as a very, very powerful figure that there's no one who can be compared unto him. Mark you, Jesus himself was there during the time of creation. So how do you compare the creator with the creation? Two things that would never be compared unto. Yeah, you cannot compare the creator with the creation. So to most people, what Netanyahu said or did or said was that Genghis Khan was or is, and history has it, that is the greatest person ever lived on planet Earth. But who is Genghis Khan? This is a legendary figure that fought and conquered the whole world. And reading the history of this guy is that he had no mercy over anyone. He had no mercy over anyone. To him, you stand before him, he destroys you completely. He makes sure he destroys you completely. Okay, the right word to use is he will annihilate you completely. That there'll be no history about you. That nothing about you will ever be found. Okay, this statement is coming in at the time that Iran is in war. Okay, Israel, the US are fighting against the Islamic regime of Iran. And to Netanyahu, these are the guys, the Islamic regime of Iran are the guys that are not supposed to be shown any mercy. Not any mercy. They don't deserve any mercy, because to Netanyahu, what these guys have been able to do is much worse than what a human being will do to another human being. And now, this is where we're getting the context of the whole story. Ali Khamenei, with the Islamic regime of Iran, have not shown anyone mercy anywhere. They've made sure that they're destroying, unaliving, killing, and doing whatever they can do to, I don't know if is it to teach people a lesson or to scare other people that if they ever cross them, that is what will happen unto them. And it's not only Christians who suffered under the hand of Ali Khamenei. There are other Muslims who also differ when it comes to values in Islam that suffered under the hands of Khamenei, under the orders of Ali Khamenei. Ali Khamenei has ordered very many people and came up with some terrorist groups in different places that have been serving as their proxy groups, destroying and serving and destroying everything around wherever they go. Remember, it is under the leadership of this guy that the extreme Islamic extremists started chanting that death to Israeli, death to America, death to Israeli, death to America, and these made many people angry because given an opportunity, these people wouldn't have spared Israel and they wouldn't have spared Americans. We can see this from some few cases that happened whenever they captured Americans and Israelis. They used them as, as something to show that this is what we will do until if we get you. So that enraged America, that enraged Israel. Let's go back to the story of Genghis Khan and Jesus and Netanyahu. So to Netanyahu is that these people are not supposed to be shown mercy. The Islamic regime of Iran is not supposed to be shown mercy. If we come in with the story of Christianity, then the Bible says, so the teachings of Jesus will be, show them mercy, forgive them. When Jesus says, pray for your enemies, pray for your enemies, you get that? Yeah? Pray for them and you pray good for them. You don't beat them, you don't destroy them. Remember that story that Jesus comes up with? If you're beaten on this cheek, as a Christian, you should offer this other cheek. And that is what Netanyahu is trying to do. I'm not going to subscribe to those teachings of forgiving these guys because the Bible says, or Christianity says, I should forgive them. Like, I'm not Jesus. And in this case, we are not playing the Jesus game. That is what Netanyahu is trying to do. In this game, we're not playing the Jesus game because the Jesus game says, let's forgive them. The Jesus game says, we need to give them time. The Jesus game says, if you hit on this one, give the other cheek. If an enemy grabs a jacket from you, of your friend or whoever gets a jacket from you, make sure you're giving them a shot. And Netanyahu is not, no. That is not what we're going to talk about over here. That's not what we're going to talk about. We must finish what we've started. There is no forgiveness. Number one, there's no forgiveness to the Islamic regime of Iran. Number two, we're not going to we won't just let them to take everything just because they've done that. And number three, I'm not going to give them my second cheek for them to hit me on that. But I'm going to completely destroy and bring them to under control, just as Genghis Khan used to do. He never spared his enemies. You declare yourself his enemy, he makes sure that he comes in to destroy you completely. And that is what Netanyahu is doing. So when he says that Genghis Khan had advantage over Jesus, what he means three things or four things. The first thing is Genghis Khan had no mercy to his enemies. And as Genghis Khan, him as Netanyahu or Israel will never have mercy over their enemies. Number two, the gospel of Jesus was preached, the gospel of loving your enemies and doing good to those who hate you. And Genghis Khan went against that. Genghis Khan never spared those who hated him. And he had no love for his enemies. And for that, Netanyahu is not going to love his enemies, nor is he going to do good to those who hate him. Number three, Genghis Khan, Jesus preached the gospel of, the battle belongs unto him, battle belongs unto God. So for us, we are not supposed to fight. It's God who's supposed to fight for us. And to Netanyahu, no, I have all the tools around me to make sure that I'm bringing this thing down. So I'm not waiting on to go to fight for me. I'm going in to fight for myself. So these are the things that Netanyahu is holding on. And that is why he said Genghis Khan had advantage over Jesus. Not that Genghis Khan is superior over Jesus. But the things that Jesus teaches are very much different from what Genghis Khan did. And he's choosing to do what Genghis Khan did and not what Jesus did. He chooses not to forgive. He chooses not to love the enemy. He chooses not to spare the enemy, but completely destroy the enemy. As I finish up on this, remember, most of you people think that Israel is a Christian nation. Israel is not a Christian nation. Israel is more of Judaizer. They're Jews. And Jews is Judaism. They don't believe in Christianity. Some of those people don't believe that Jesus came. And to Netanyahu, again, number four, you realize to him, Genghis Khan was more of a leader that he will emulate because he was a soldier. He was a soldier who fought physically. The very thing that most of the Israelis think that Jesus Christ will come as a military guy to help them save them from their enemies. But this is not what Jesus did. And that is the difference between whatever Netanyahu said and what Jesus will do. So for Netanyahu, he's not choosing the way of Jesus. He's not choosing the way of forgiveness. He's not choosing the way to let the enemy slap the second cheek. He's not choosing the way that the enemy will take his shot. He will give the enemies his shot once they take the court. He's not choosing that, but he's going in to make sure that he's unaliving and destroying all of them who pose danger to Israel and to their allies, America. That is it that Netanyahu meant when he said Genghis Khan had advantage over Jesus. Until next time, we meet same place, same time. It's been your host, Alan. Please subscribe before you leave. Thank you. Ya mwisho